What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the FIFA 17 career mode. This is episode number 33, and we start today's episode off with our youth scout's final scout report of his 9-month mission of England. We chuck a couple more players in our academy, and we shall wait and see how they look. I must say, I'm pretty impressed with the fact that right now we've got quite a few players in our academy that have pretty decent potential. And of course, Henry Davis and Bradley Price have already been promoted, so hopefully a couple more new players here could be quite good for us in the future, and I guess we'll have to wait and see. Also, real briefly, I do want to say yesterday on Twitter, I asked you guys whether you'd be interested in a Friday afternoon podcast on my channel, uploaded every week. Do let me know if you guys would be interested about that. Let me know in the comment section down below. I've always wanted to do podcasts, and I think that would be pretty cool. So let me know in the comment section down below if you'd be interested as well. I think a Friday afternoon podcast could be pretty cool. But also as well, another question to start today's episode off as well. But this one is regarding what's going on the career mode right now. As you can see, for the first game of today's episode, I decided to simulate it as it was against Austria Vienna in our final Europa League group stage game, where the Austrian side had to beat us by 2 clear goals, otherwise we would finish top of the group. So qualification was already secured, so I decided to simulate that game so I could get some more games in today's episode as well and get us closer and closer to the January transfer window. But the question really is just basically, what do you guys think about simulating games? Because some people really don't like simulating at all. They hate it. They think when a YouTuber simulates games, it's unfair and it's just not really, it's just not right, you know, because you should be in control of all the games you play. But some people don't mind simulating at all, and some people simulate like half the season of worth of games. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about simulating games? How many games do you simulate in your career modes, and do you have a problem with YouTubers simulating games from time to time? I've done it a few times here and there in a season, but I tend not to do it if I can help it. I'll only do it if I really feel it's necessary to speed up a season. But let me know in the comment section down below, how do you guys feel about simulating games? Do you do it yourself? Do you get annoyed when YouTubers do it? Let me know in the comment section down below, as that was our first simulated competitive game of the series. It finished 1-1, and we did indeed top of the group as we expected. Still, for the first game of today's episode here, we will travel to the King Power Stadium to take on the 2015-2016 Premier League champions Leicester City. Claudio Ranieri, the Tinker Man, as you could see, of course, led Leicester to the title back in that year. That was 2 years ago now in this career mode, and as you can see, we started off this game very, very poorly indeed. Slimani would open the scoring for Leicester as the Algerian popped the ball into the bottom corner and made it 1-0 with his 5th goal of the year, and Leicester took the lead in the first half. They played better in the first half as well, no denying that. We'd barely got started, but in the second half, just 6 minutes after the restart, we had a good chance to get back on level terms here. Menendez plays a 1-2 with De Chilio, temporarily lost the ball there, De Chilio, but wins it back here off his man, takes it round 1, ends up giving it back towards Menendez. Menendez takes his time, whips the cross into the centre, picks out Luciano Vietto, and the man in form gets another goal for Middlesbrough, and that is now his 10th goal of the season, as he becomes the first player of the series to reach double figures for goals scored in a season. So delighted about that. Menendez with another assist, picks out Vietto. He's in form right now. I had to aim for him in the area. He beats Ben Chilwell, I think it was, in the air, and heads it in for his 10th goal in a Middlesbrough shirt in the Premier League, and 11 in total as well, as he scored 1 in the Europa League. So Leicester 1, Middlesbrough 1. We're back on level terms, but unfortunately for us, the tied game, if you will, I was going to say the lead, we're not in the lead, but the equalising goal would only stand for a few minutes, let's just say that, because just a couple minutes after that goal from Vietto, Leicester would restore their lead through Nampalys Mendy, as the French midfielder fired one in from just outside the area, and the number 24 puts the home fans back in front. I surrendered possession with Gaston Ramirez, who had a good start to the season, but since then has faded away a little bit. Mendy played a 1-2 with Musa, and I must say the strike was good, but I really feel like Jordan Pickford should have done a little bit better. He's been great since coming in for an out-of-form Victor Valdez, but I must say I really think he should have saved that shot. It wasn't right in the corner, it didn't have that much power, and he got nothing on the ball at all. So Leicester 2, Middlesbrough 1. Our final chance fell with just 20 seconds of normal time to go. James Ward-Prowse came off the bench, but sadly the former Southampton midfielder shot goes wide, the post mine for a goal kick, and that was how the game would finish as well. Final score, Leicester 2, Middlesbrough 1. And we do lose for the third time, so to say the second time in 3 away games, and that is very frustrating indeed, because we didn't play too badly in that game, but I think Leicester were the stronger side. But we're really struggling away from home this season. Every single time we go on the road, I feel as though we're going to be under pressure. You know, the West Ham game is where we had to come from behind to win that one. We just can't seem to keep clean sheets away from home and on our travels, and this game, once again, defensively speaking, we're very poor. Leicester could open the scoring straight away as well, as they hit the bar in this game so early on. on, but, you know, for us, we've got to get our defense sorted. You know, last season, that would never have been an issue for us. You know, last season, we were so good at the back. We were watertight. We were rock solid, if you will. We were fantastic when shutting teams out. This season, it's just not worked for us, and something needs to change. So coming into the second game of today's episode here, something would change. As you saw the team lineup there, it went by pretty quickly. You might notice it here on the lineup. Check out our back four. It was the same as the Leicester game, but one change. Henry Davis would come in for his Middlesbrough debut since being promoted from the academy, and the 18-year-old would start alongside Kimpembe as Dominic Heinz, who's such an inconsistent player, sometimes does well, sometimes does badly, would be dropped to the bench alongside Espinoza. So a debut for the 18-year-old away at Britannia Stadium. Tough place to make your debut, but I got faith in the young man, and every time I throw a youngster in the first team, they usually do pretty well. So Stoke City would be our opponents for the second game of today's episode, and we were desperate to make sure we wouldn't have 3 defeats in our 4 last away games. But what a start to the game we would have as well, because directly from kickoff, we barely gave Stoke a sniff of the ball, rolled it inside towards Luciano Vietto, and once he took aim, you knew he was going to find a bottom corner, and number 9 scores once again. His fantastic goal scoring run continues. It's another goal for our number 9, and a great finish into the bottom corner as Vietto makes it 1-0 to the Borough and gets his 11th goal of the season in the Premier League. So Stoke 0, Middlesbrough 1. What a start to this game, and a really good way to respond after the last game, which was so disappointing away at the King Power Stadium. Diego then went pretty close there. His shot well saved with the goalkeeper, but it was still 1-0. And then Stoke had their first chance of the game here in the 22nd minute. Phil Barsley whips across into the centre and picks out Jonathan Walters, but Pickford makes a really good save, and eventually the follow-up cross goes on to the roof of the net. So good save by Picks there, looking to return to clean sheets as he's not kept one in the last 2 games, but it was still Stoke 0 and Middlesbrough 1. And we had to wait until the 63rd minute for another chance here as Diego got the ball 18 minutes after the restart and went for goal from range from outside the area once more, but unfortunately this time dragged the shot wide of the post and behind for a goal kick. So still Stoke 0, Middlesbrough 1. But in this game, to be honest, I must say we defended really, really well. Unlike the Leicester City game where I felt like my players were like Bambi on ice for the most part in the back line, we were really, really secure, really, really tight, structured and organised. I guess that's the best way of putting it, really. We were organised and no one seemed to have bad discipline and moving out of the right line, if you will, from time to time, like I'm so guilty of doing a lot of the time, dragging defenders out of position. But in general, we defended very, very well in this game, shut Stoke City out for the most part, and as you can see, after passing out from the back here, 71 minutes in, we would double our lead and surely secure the points through Paul Georges and Tep. Yes, our French winger came off the bench to surely ensure that we would get the 3 points in this one and return to winning ways. A really nice passing goal, like our first one in this game, and this felt really, really good. He had that serious injury on the opening day of the season against United, broke his ankle, was out for 3 months. He's had some sub appearances and a couple of starts since then, but not really looked as good. But in this game, he came off the bench to not just score one, but set one up as well, because late on in the game, he swung a corner into the centre, picked out Martin Derone, and our skipper scores for the first time this season. So delighted about that, as he looks like he's pointing to the badge and the captain's armband there. Derone gets his first goal of the year. It's crazy to think that last season, if you guys remember this, he was our top scorer for quite some time, Martin Derone. This year, not as prolific, obviously, but he doesn't get forward as much. Last season, of course, he played in a midfield duo with Will Hughes, so sometimes Hughes will sit back and he will go forward. This time, he has to sit back all the time, but he scores his first goal of the year there. Delighted with that, and that wrapped up the points, but the icing on the cake. So final score, Stoke City 0, Middlesbrough 3. What a performance, defensively and offensively as well. We were brilliant in this game. We shut Stoke out of the back. We were absolutely fantastic, and I must say, Henry Davis stepping in, what a performance from the 18-year-old. Shut down everything in that game. He was really organised with our backline too. Fantastic defensive display, and scoring 3 goals as well away at Britannia Stadium. Not the easiest of things to do. Stoke can be a very tough place to go to, but that was a great performance and a really awesome way to respond after a very disappointing defeat. Still, for the third and final game of today's episode here, we will take on Manchester City in a 3rd versus 4th clash, where on Friday night, one of these sides can go top of the table with the 3 points. Whoever goes on to win the game will lead the league come Saturday morning, so this will surely be considered our biggest game of the season so far, as we aim to make a big statement and be top of the table for the first time this year. Only a win will do though, so let's make sure we get it. Come on, Middlesbrough. It's Fernando for City finding Sane. Great block by Davis early, but Fernando goes for goal anyway, and Pickford makes the save and turns it behind for a corner. Chance out of nothing there really for City. Great block by Davis initially, and then Pickford makes the save. And from the corner, it's played short, as you'd expect. Gundogan now on the ball, dances around 2 players, and still Gundogan on the ball. Finds Fernandinho, who goes for goal, blocked by Adama. But he'll drop towards Aguero, though, who finds the back of the net. And it's the worst possible start as Manchester City take the lead just 7 minutes in. Sergio Aguero with the goal, runs to Guardiola to celebrate. We had like 4 chances to get that ball away, not from the first shot, which Pickford saved, but even before that, when Davis made the block. Instead, we conceded a corner, and from that, City take an early lead. There were like 4 shots in that brief passage of play there, but we just could not get the danger clear. Twice a rebound fell to City. The first time it did, the shot was saved by Pickford. The second time, Sergio Aguero beats Pickford, and City take an early lead. Worst possible start. We should have defended better there. And it could be through again here, City, with Mertens down the left-hand side, slides it inside towards Fernandinho, who goes for goal, and Pickford makes the save. Wow, what a start for Manchester City. And if it wasn't for Jordan Pickford, we'd be 2 goals down. It's been a very poor start to this game from me, and City could make it 2-0. Fernando finding Aguero through towards Gundogan, and what a finish by Ilkay Gundogan. And the former Borussia Dortmund midfielder also runs to Guardiola. It's 2-0 to City. What a disastrous start. They have been all over me in this first 20 minutes, and it's a brilliant goal by Gundogan. What a strike on the half volley, and Jordan Pickford has no chance. They have started like a house on fire. We're yet to get out of the blocks. This has been a terrible, terrible beginning with 2 goals down. I mean, already the early indications are not good at all. We defended so well against Stoke, we really did, but in this game, I've just started off so poorly. Pressure possibly, nerves getting the better of me, not entirely sure. Here's Fernando on the ball though, takes it around Davis, still Fernando, finds Leroy Sané, Sané past Menendez for 3-0, great save by Pickford, and Davis will have to hoof it away. This has been a terrible start, and I feel like I need to make some changes early. Well, it's going to be a very early change, but I feel like it's necessary, otherwise we could be 3, 4, possibly even 5 goals down at the break. James Ward-Prowse coming on for side of Berahino, who has been pretty meh at best of late, so on comes JWP. Is that how he's known? He is now. And Berahino's going to come off because we're conceding really, really poor goals this season, and particularly on the break I found as well. And with City's pace on the counter as well, we need to make sure it doesn't happen in this game too many times. So City already up by 2. We're taking off a striker for a midfielder. Bold decision, but we can't let this game get ahead of us, or get away from us I should say, before half time. Menendez wins it back off Leroy Sané and finds Derone. Now Derone back towards Menendez, and a chance here for Diego to run at Vincent Kompany and get himself inside, and he does. And he whips in a great cross to the centre, and Vieto's header is brilliantly saved by Hart, and then he gets onto the loose ball. A little bit fortunately, as Stone's got his feet muddled up. That was a brilliant ball by Menendez, and Vieto denied by a great save. Chilio's throw finds Menendez, who'll hold the ball up and wait for the Chilio's run. Chip it to our left back, down his left-hand side. Aurier covers. The Chilio takes it round him, whips it in towards Vieto, and again, it's another header by Luciano. Well saved by Joe Hart. Second time in quick succession, as the score remains 2-0. As Menendez gets onto the loose ball, pokes it back in. Gundogan clears. Well, just under 22 minutes to go, we still trail by 2, and there's definitely chances for us to get back in this game later on. We've had chances in the second half, but unfortunately we haven't taken them, and that's been a story, well, of last season really. But here's Ramirez through towards Ntep here, down the left-hand side, and Ntep cuts inside and finds Ramirez, and a great chance here as Gaston takes it around 1, and it's another fine save by Hart, and Ward-Prowse's header is straight into the body of the English shot stopper. I can't believe it. We've had some good chances in the second half, but we haven't taken them. We've regressed to last season's style of play in front of goal, just not being clinical enough, and it's still 2-0. And here's Sané for City going for goal, blocked by Kimpembe. Second shot comes to him, and it's just over Pickford's bar. Well, there you have it then. Final score, Middlesbrough 0, Manchester City 2, and a chance for us to go top of the table ends in disaster. A very bad loss here at the Riverside Stadium, and City thoroughly deserved this win as well. 16 shots, 8 on target, 60% possession, and we didn't do too badly in the second half. We were a lot more attack-minded and got a few chances created, but Joe Hart makes some big saves, and City in general were the far superior team and definitely deserved this win. That was one hell of a a tough game. Man of the match could go to any Manchester City player. The way they kept hold of the ball in this game was just unbelievable. I mean, honestly, since the patch, I found myself being more and more challenged by the AI, and seriously, it is just such a hard difficulty now, Legendary, compared to what it used to be. So any player can get man of the match, really, but I'll give it to Ilkay Gundogan, who scored their second goal, 97% passing, could barely get the ball off the guy. He was fantastic, and his goal wasn't bad either. A really nice build-up from Manchester City, and once he received the ball from Sergio Aguero, he pulled one right out of the top drawer. Absolutely fantastic goal from the former Borussia Dortmund midfielder, and the German ensured that City would run away with this game. This was such a tough game, and probably my toughest game of FIFA 17. Not surprised it ends in defeat. And that will end today's episode of Career Mode as well, guys. So a big thank you for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please do consider leaving a like. Likes are of course much appreciated, and they really help the channel out as well. Much love to you. I hope you guys have had a fantastic week, and I will see you for hopefully a double episode upload day of Career Mode starting tomorrow morning. See you then.